when you know you put the work in and the sacrifice, what you've done, and everything you went through back then, for it to smash back in your face, that hurts.
Right.
That hurts for a nigga because we take pride into that. Because we watch so many other motherfuckers around us don't do half of what we did. Even though we wasn't perfect and we wasn't Cliff Huxtable and, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But within raising a child in the hood as a street guy, well, I'm high up there. As far as raising her like the movies and Cliff Huxtables, no, I'm low on the totem pole.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Benzino, man, you did it, man. Somehow you beat a RICO case, nigga. Was it a RICO?
It started out as RICO.
Okay.
So we was getting, this was the time at the Source we started. This was like around, I mean, in Boston for a while, I had been getting they had always been fucking with me in Boston, the gang task force, and looking into my situation up there because, you know, my father had did a couple big bids in the feds. And my brother, Porky, you know, Free Porky, he's locked up now, also did a couple of big bids. So Boston's small, and you know, they had been trying to fuck with me for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I did a couple of those small bids here and there, like 6 months. But it was like they always was trying I was Ray Dog back then. They always was trying to get Ray Dog because, you know, we was a gang city. And I had my rap group, but we was big, you know. And not just that, where I was from, Four Corners, everybody from Boston that was somebody would always come to Four Corners. So just, you know, like, man, and I was, you know, I just, you know what I'm saying, I had a good run in Boston, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you go through the stuff, you know, with your guys getting killed and stuff like that. But, you know, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, Boston growing up back then was dope. When we was making money, when I was with the Source for a good period of time at the beginning, the Source really wasn't making no money for me to get a cut.
Got you. So it was like more like I still had to be in the streets.
I still had my foot and, you know.
Yeah.
But once the Source started, we was getting that money, then I didn't have to do that anymore. It didn't make any sense. So the feds they was investigating me on some other shit. And it kind of morphed into how is he getting all this money? You know, the IRS is like, how the fuck is this dude making all this money? He's never had a job. What the fuck is going on? And they really didn't know about it. Like, the feds didn't know that the Source magazine was making, you know, at our height, we was making $2-3 million a month. So it's like cash, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't know. They've never seen nothing like that before. So it's like, they probably didn't believe it. But when they first came, the charges were, when the criminal investigation, they had interviewed about 160 people. They interviewed the whole Source staff, which the accountant had war wire. They was pulling guys in and out of prisons, out of Pennsylvania, out of Fed joints, interviewing them. They went to Boston and interviewed a bunch of people, but altogether they interviewed over 150 people. And they just couldn't connect the dots. It was extortion, money laundering.
Tax evasion, right? Was one of them.
Tax evasion, but what people don't realize, so the offices are different. Anything criminal is criminal. Whatever's taxes is taxes. They're two different offices. They're under the FBI, but they're two different offices. So this is a different investigation. It's criminal investigation and tax investigation. They don't know, one of them doesn't necessarily know even what they did, because when I got indicted, it was only because the criminal broke down, and they had been investigating me for almost 2 years and they couldn't get nothing. They was wasting money. So it was wasting millions of dollars. So that broke down and they said, fuck it, you know. But they offered me 20 years. God rest my mother, they went to my mother's house and told her to tell me to take 20, 25 years because they was gonna hit me with a kingpin. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Kingpin? For what? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
wait a minute.
in my mind, I'm like, okay, I was doing my thing in Boston, but from the shit that they was saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, they mixing it up.
Right.
They remixing it. It wasn't like that.
Right.
I had already got out by the time they really, you know what I'm saying? And they was talking about bodies in Boston. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of unsolved bodies in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was trying to, and that was in what? That was 04, I mean 07, I think. No. When I get, yeah, that was like 05, like 04, 05. So 05-ish. So, that was way back then they tried to hit me with that.
So when you beat this, right? Did you say your lawyer fainted after he found out that you won, or
Yeah,
he fainted in the trial?
Salute to Leonard Sands. Leonard Sands, a little skinny Jewish guy out of Florida. Dave got him. I don't know where Dave got him from, but thank God he did. And I just remember he cost a lot. Little motherfucker boy, he cost a lot. But I could have beat that case. Like, first of all, right? The case was based on, first of all, I had an all-white jury in Boston, Mass, in the federal building. Because when you pick your jury, the questions are, do you know Ray Dog, Made Men, Source Magazine? Every black and Latino's putting their hand up, so they gotta go. So I had an all-white jury, so I figured, you know what? They said, look, all right, you're gonna get 5, most you can get is 5 years. Take 3. Take the 3, we don't gotta go to trial. I was like, hell no. It's like, nah. It's like, fuck that, for what? Let me shut this off. I said, fuck that, for what? And Coi had just been born, so I wanted to spend more time with her. And if I had took it to trial, I was like, I knew I was getting locked up. I said, this is fucked up. But my thing was, they wired up our accountant, right? The accountant, George Moore, was somebody that Dave hired. Now, he'd been working with us for 5 years. Paying him over $150,000 a year. He's on the business side of the office where Dave and his office are next to each other. So when I come up there, the only thing me and him are talking about is Celtics and Jets. He's from New Jersey. I mean, Patriots and Jets. Football, that's it. I don't have any other conversation. I don't know you. Half Jewish, half Italian guy, George Moore. So I used to go up to the office, used to be like, Ray, we got to file these taxes. I was like, okay, well, file them. Get the information from Dave. I don't know. So I didn't know a W-9 from a W-2, from a W-5. That's what the fuck you were here for, right? That's what I thought. So, all right. I go back up at the office a couple of weeks later. Hey, Ray, we really got to file these taxes. I'm like, why don't, at this point, it's like, bro, I said, I go talk to Dave. Listen, talk to him, man. I don't know why he keep asking me. Now, the whole time, right, he's wearing this, he always wore a button-up shirt. And in the Source, we 50, 60 people on the staff. The journalists are over here. The business is over here. The journalist side is way more wild. Business is quiet, advertising, money, journalists, stories, art direction, photographer, they partying. It was crazy over there on that side. So I'm just trying to wonder, you know what I'm saying? Why did he wear the wire, right? So when he came, he testified against me. I'm sitting right here, I got a suit on. And he came and testified me. The way they had their witness thing was it's right in front of you. So he's right there and I see he's flushed out. He can't even look at me. The jury's right here. He's sitting right there. I'm looking at, surreal. I could not fucking believe this shit. I'm like, what the fuck did I do to this dude? So he told me, when my lawyer asked him why he wore the wire, he said they approached him over the George Washington Bridge at a Dunkin' Donuts when he was going home from the office. And they told him the situation. They bought him some donuts and some coffee. And he said he decided to wear it because he thought it would be adventurous, intriguing. It was intriguing. And the nigga had he always wore a white collared shirt, so that was normal. But then I did notice that he had a clip-on name tag, right? Looked like an ID, but the ID had a metal piece in it. Now, I'm not thinking nothing. At first, I'm like, why does he got that on? But then I'm like, maybe that's my mind is like, and I'll never forget this. That's something that all accountants have to wear in the tri-state area. Because all of a sudden he's wearing it. Because nobody else got no fucking tag on in the office. Unless you got another job that you're going to after. But I didn't think nothing of it. But that was the wire. So the jury must have felt like, listen, first of all, you're trying to trap him. Second of all, you are the accountant. You should have done it. And third of all, he wasn't doing nothing illegal for you to wear the wire on him. They found me not guilty in 2 hours. Now, at closing arguments, the lawyer passed out. This was the day before. He passed out and shit. It was closing out. He fainted. And they came in, they picked him up, and he went back to the judge's chamber. He came back out with the ambulance, with oxygen. He's waving at me. So I was like, damn, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I didn't even hear from him for the night. Next day, went to court. They said his heart defibrillator went out. Something happened with it, needed a new battery, some shit. But he said his closing arguments, and 2 hours, they found me not guilty. And you know what I'm saying? So, there's not too many people, and Lord knows I'm not bragging about this, I'm just explaining the situation that beat a federal tax case, you know what I'm saying? So.
What were your nights like, knowing that you're being indicted by the feds and you could possibly lose your freedom?
I never worried about shit, man. And to this day, I've learned, I got this ability, right? To where, and maybe, I got this ability to where it's like whatever it's gonna be is gonna be. And I gotta face whatever it is head on with no worry. I gotta condition my mind with that. And just whatever's gonna happen, I gotta just face it. Because it's gonna happen anyway, so you might as well get used to facing it than you are worrying.
Right.
Because it's coming.
Now, somebody who just came home from the feds was Big Meech. And he did a long ass time.
20.
Crazy. Man, did you ever have any dealings with BMF, Big Meech?
I fuck with Meech, Blue, all of them, J-Bo. I just talked to Bo. A lot of them, the twins. I mean, it was so many niggas in BMF at that time. You gotta understand, of course it was Meech and T and you know what I'm saying? I didn't have too much interaction with Terry, but there's a lot of niggas with, you know what I'm saying, in Atlanta that was with BMF, so. But I remember particularly around the Source Awards time, I had Club Zeno, my club down there, and I remember that the feds were down there watching them, like they were there. They were at the club and everything, young niggas, like a black and white dude. Like there was, you know what I'm saying? I think there was about 6 of them, but I definitely seen 2 of them, you know what I mean? Because we knew everybody that was in the club. So Meech wanted to have a meeting with me. I think 2 G's told me, my man, I forgot. So the meeting was at this, in Coral Gables at this mansion. This was the night before the awards. And he was, him and Blue, you know what I'm saying, we there chilling and shit. Of course they know who I am and shit, you know what I'm saying, I know who they are. But we smoking, and they're just like, man, we just want to pick your brain, man, I'm like, what's up? It's like, yo, how you beat your fake case? I was like, bro, I'm gonna be real with you, my nigga. I couldn't even answer that, because I'm not even want to be playing around with anybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't even just for the moment and nothing clout, none of that shit. I just said, look, everybody's shit's different. You know what I'm saying? He knew that they were following him. He knew that all this shit was coming down. He basically said it right there. He was like, look, Blue too. And, pretty much they knew what was getting ready to happen. They had that same attitude, like, fuck it. You're already in too deep. And what I did tell him, I was like, look, I said, this is what I can do for you. Since the feds are down here looking at you and everything, I said, the awards is tomorrow. I said, how about I just make up an award for you? So that you can look legitimate, because I knew that the feds was gonna come to the awards too. They had been there the whole weekend. Wow. They really was there taking on everything, like, of course they was watching them, but you know what I'm saying, they want to be around shit too. They see all them women and all the celebrities, you know what I mean? But they was at the awards too, the same 2 that was at Zeno. It was obvious at that point, and we gave him the best independent label award. And I did that based off of because when So Icy came out, to be honest, how I knew So Icy, Gucci, and Jeezy was really through BMF. Right. Like when they came to Miami that time and they was killing that, that's really how I first time I really heard both of them was really through BMF, and I'm just thinking of that now. But you know what I'm saying? They won the award, you know what I'm saying? But you know, that was it.
Did you ever wonder why neither one of them two went to jail?
Who?
Gucci or Jeezy?
Who?
Gucci or Jeezy?
Gucci been in jail?
No, I mean for the BMF, because they both had BMF ties.
You know, I mean, like I said, them niggas was fucking with everybody, so a lot of people didn't go to jail. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay.
It just depends on where you was on the chain. Like,
got you.
The separation. Are you 6 degrees, 8 degrees, 10? You know what I'm saying?
This what I got a question. I was watching an interview with one of the BMF guys, and they were saying that Terry was actually the one that like had more money than Meech, because he had a lot of more. They were saying that he was buying lottery tickets, he had a limo service, and when they met, it almost seemed like he worked for Terry because of the way that he was moving. So why does Terry never really get glorified in the BMF? When they talk BMF, you never really hear anybody talk about Terry.
I mean, just from me outside looking in, Terry wasn't as flashy as Meech. You know what I'm saying? But they were brothers. They each had their own mind at the same time. Shit. At the end of the day, they still riding for each other. But, you know, Terry had a way of doing things. Look, listen, at the end of the day, the plug is accessible to both of them. Now, how you do it is how you do it. How he do it and how he do it. I don't think it was as unified as people thought, even through business, but I'm sure, brother, it always was. You know, that's just how me looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
So, regardless, when the feds are investigating you, you pretty much know. It ain't no secret.
Oh, they was following us. We come downstairs, just like in a movie. They cross the street and they would follow us to the restaurant, because we'd always go right after the Source. When Dave and them are done, we always go eat somewhere. They follow us to the restaurant, wait at the restaurant. Follow us around, we go to the club, they follow us to the club. Sometimes they'd leave, sometimes. Like we knew when they was, you know what I'm saying? This was happening for a long time. Because it was too much. Like I had already been investigated for a bunch of shit in Boston. So I got the fuck out of Boston, you know? The reason why I left Boston was because of that, was because of the investigation. Like it wasn't looking good for me if I would have stayed in Boston.
Right. Your daughter, Coi Leray, right?
Coi Leray.
There's a lot of internet people saying that you weren't there for her.
Coi Leray.
Yeah, you weren't there for her. You didn't take care of her.
Yeah, the internet. What is the internet? Listen, I take pride into what I've done for all my kids. I got 4 beautiful kids, and I take pride to know that, you know, I love my kids dearly. You know, me. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that tunes into something that has to do with that type of thought, they don't have anything to do with it. You know, I don't. When I came up taking care of my kids, I didn't do it because other people were looking. It wasn't too many pictures or the internet or videos. I did it because I love my kids, and I knew that is what I had to do as my responsibility as a young man. Now, other things come in play, like the streets and hustling. I'm not working a job. I'm not going to college. I'm a street nigga and I sell drugs. Well, that takes on a different type of fatherhood.
For sure.
That doesn't mean I don't love her any different from the doctor that's going to work, coming home to the picket fence and his daughter. Our love, I'm sure he loves his daughter, I love my daughter the same. But the way I have to move is gonna affect how I raise her. Right. But I raised her. Make no mistakes about it. Yeah.
How is it, you know, being a father and having that spotlight? We see Bootsy going through it. You know, he has a hard time, you know, in the public eye dealing with his children. Not through his relationship with his children, but like people seeing how he reacts to certain things. And while in our eyes, it's just him parenting, or you would just be parenting. Other people have so many judgments on it.
I mean, first of all, you know, when you know you put the work in and the sacrifice which you've done and everything you went through back then for it to smash back in your face, that hurts.
Right.
That hurts for a nigga because we take pride into that. Because we watch so many other motherfuckers around us don't do half of what we did. Even though we wasn't perfect and we wasn't Cliff Huxtable and, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But within raising a child in the hood as a street guy, well, I'm high up there. As far as raising her like the movies and Cliff Huxtables, no, I'm low on the totem pole. But this was my life. And when you're in the streets, you got the number one thing is when you have a child is you have to feed them. They gotta eat. All right, that's number one. Number two is you take pride in how they look. You don't want to be out there in the hood and going places and everything, your kid look crazy, so you got to get them fly shits that they look good because they represent you. All right, that shit costs. If you don't have a fucking job, you have to go out there and hustle to get it. Well, I'm not going to be able to be home all the time. And we're not going to be able to go on trips all the time. And because there's, we hustling. But when we do, we go to Disneyland. When we do, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm not with the mother, then she's coming to stay with me. So, I think that's a very touchy subject, and there's a lot of broken families with single families, single mothers especially. And it's a touchy subject when it comes to daughters and dads. And, I love my daughter dearly. That'll never change. It's unfortunate what happened on the internet, but it's the internet. I don't put too much stock into the internet. I don't put no stock into it. I don't give a fuck what's on the internet when it comes to me. Because when I see people, the love is ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What do you feel about like when you see your peers lusting after your daughter? How does that make you feel?
Just like any other father. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm saying I don't want to be around that shit. I don't want to see that shit. Yeah, like who the fuck want to see that? Not me. Like my thing is, if you're gonna treat my daughter, if you're gonna be a man, you're gonna be with my daughter, then I'd rather you marry her, and then I'd want to meet you and holler at you. And I don't know how long you're gonna be around for me to be, and I'm not the dude to be meeting you, then meeting him and meeting. I don't want to meet nobody. I want to give her the privacy. And I'm sure for her, but believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? It's always good that your parents accept the person that your child brings. But it's also important that the child know that we want to make sure that he's the right one for you because we've already experienced everything you're about to experience and him.
Right.
I'm just being a dad, man. What do motherfuckers want me to do?
Does Coi Leray make it without the Benzino name?
Does she make it without the Benzino name? Of course. Like Coi's relentless. Well,
like in the game.
Well, she's my DNA. So that's a relentless DNA she got. Like that DNA she got from her dad is a motherfucker, which passed on from my father. You know what I'm saying? Like she got some real DNA, and her mom, Coi's mom, Coi comes from, I know Asia don't like me to say this, but Asia street, her family street, not, no jokes. And, they group projects, and that's what Coi is, but I managed to take advantage of opportunities and get myself out the hood and do things through music. But I had been doing that all my life. Coi comes out and do music, it's no coincidence. My son just did a show in Chicago last night. He's 3 years older than Coi. They got different mothers. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're gonna do music. They came out the womb in studios their whole life.
Do you think you'll have any more kids?
I got an 8-year-old, and he just turned 9, and I'm 59.
Oh, well, shit.
So, yeah.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? Me and my girl, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, like, listen, ain't no more abortions. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
He said whatever happened.
Yeah, you gotta have to keep that motherfucker.
Do you still feel like, let's say you had one on the way, do you still feel like you have that energy or that
man, let me tell you something. If I was who I was older at 50, to Coi, Leray, and Taj, man, and that's where I could apologize to them on camera because I'm such a better father now. Yeah. And I'm so much more slowed down there, but it's the life I'm living now. I had to move more. I'm more focused now. I know right from, there's no gray area for me. So I'm more slowed down with Zeno. I'm enjoying it more. It's, you know what I mean? Not that I wasn't with the moments with them, But I was moving so fast with the Source magazine and street shit and everything. It was, they come stay with me, and as long as they got money, that was the love language. But I'm just a different person now, you know? And yeah, man, are you kidding me? See, energy's not a problem. Like my metabolism has always been up, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the issue. So I still got swimmers, so you know, why not?
Man, I was gonna ask you about, you know, you being with the Source, right? And you seeing the landscape of media right now, right? What is your take on it? I have a two-part question, but what's your take on the media landscape right now?
Media's a joke right now.
Why do you say that?
Media sucks. Nobody's taking the time. To be a great journalist, you gotta research. You gotta get into somebody's life. You gotta research what they've done and then put it on paper so that the people that you're projecting it to comes back with the sense that they really understand the person you're writing about. Nobody does that anymore. Everything is so quick. We had 9-page stories and articles. We had some of the greatest writers and journalists on this land that have all went and done movies and your favorite TV shows. They've done great things, man. But they put research in. They knew that they had 3 weeks to sit, and they would 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day on that story. But they would go deep into things that nobody cares about anymore. Everybody just wants clicks and comments and whoever's saying the craziest shit. So everything else gets glossed over as boring. But that's really the fabric of who we are, is all that shit. And now that you're not giving people the opportunity to write those type of stories or give those stories out, then people are losing out so much. Hip hop loses out so much not having that type of journalism anymore, honestly.
So now, like, you have the emergence of all of these podcasts, right, that are getting their own money, right? You said you were making $2 million a month on advertising.
3, sometimes 4.
Right. And you see a lot of these podcasts don't have advertising. They're really just getting it out the mud, doing it themselves. In your opinion, if you were in their position where you were the podcaster, would you be shooting for the advertisement, or would you just keep it authentic, raw, real, and just getting it out the mud?
You know, nowadays advertisement have gone so far, and platforms can make so much money doing different stuff. Like, and a big credit of that goes to people like Dave Mays, Steve Stoute. I got to give credit where credit's due. When I criticize, I can criticize them, but I can still give them credit for where it's due. Not everybody's perfect in all aspects, but that advertising, they really helped birth that. As far as in hip hop, and nowadays, excuse me, that's that Mexican Chinese rice we just had. Nowadays, like, you take a platform, tell them to go to TV with it, and you can get subscriptions, right? Okay, you can go to a movie theater with it and get that money. Then you can come and get the streaming money, right? Then after the streaming, after that slows down, you could go take it and make it free and get the ads to come in and show ads while people are watching it. That's 3 forms of revenue right there. That's crazy off of one piece of content. You understand what I'm saying? So I think podcasts are amazing. I think it's once, you know, everything's getting oversaturated, of course, and there's too many of them that just put out garbage. I think you're only as good as your podcast is as the people asking the questions, and as the host, again, who's kind of like a journalist, and because I do so much of these, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, it makes it interesting when you ask the interesting questions. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and you do your research on the person. A lot of these guys just want to, just talk. And eventually what's going to happen is the stories are going to get boring. And you got to find ways that are giving content that is not only entertainment, that is moving the culture forward.
Now, I mean, you've mastered this. You've done it for several years. Why not a Source podcast or the Source blog?
Well, the Source is already, somebody else owns it right now. Yes, we can't use the name. But I mean, I could use from the creator of the Source if I want. Yeah, eventually I'm going to do a podcast eventually. So I'm going to get that money too. I feel
because it just seemed like it'd be so easy for you.
No, yeah, I mean, eventually, but with me is everything got to be like on point. You know me, everything got to be on point, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the universe, like with me, the universe has to click a certain way, then I'm ready. So, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I definitely want to, but it just has to be right. I think a lot of podcasters mess up, and this is where I love y'all's podcast because y'all don't make it about y'all. Whereas that a lot of these podcasters are making it about them.
Yeah.
They're making it about them now. Like
Right.
they start out humble.
trying to
Now every time they get by a car, then that's part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Look at the new car I bought. Like, I don't, to me, you know what I'm saying? Or it's about me and what I wore today and how I'm talking and I talk like this. And it's like, it's just these podcasters, and salute to everybody, and there's no hate, but their egos are gonna get in the way when they make it about keep having amazing content with your interviews and the people you bring on, and don't make it so much about yourself.
Okay, now I want you to give some free game to the podcasters.
Who, Vlad? Fuck
Not
DJ
Vlad. We talking about the niggas. The niggas get it out the mud. Well, yeah, now for real.
You have a beef with Vlad?
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
fuck
you
with
ain't.
Vlad.
Yeah, you gotta do your research. For sure.
For sure, culture vulture. We can all agree on that.
Right.
Vlad instigates beefs with people, black people. He don't do it with white people. Like, Vlad used to be humble. He's not no more. And now the thing about Vlad is Vlad pays good.
Yeah. So niggas going go up there. So what does that say about black? No, but before that, I was gonna ask, like, for the black people that are in position that are trying to get it. What are some of the ways they're missing money? What are some things that they should be looking at? Because like you said, you was getting that check. What do you think?
I'm saying like, not all money's good money. You know what I'm saying? First of all, like, I'm just the wrong person to ask that because I just don't believe in just being the clown for the dollar. Even when I went on Love and Hip Hop, I wasn't trying to date two women at the same time and all that shit. All that the shit happened at the reunion. I didn't know that shit was gonna happen. Johnson ran across and started punching on people, and who the fuck knew that was gonna happen? I didn't go on TV for that. I didn't. So I'm not with the clown shit for clicks and comments and dollars, like, and just say anything. And I think it's silly to risk your life for clicks and comments and a few coins. Niggas really say shit to risk their life on here. Like, that shit blows me. Like, that shit's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say shit to risk their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't do that. I'm not with that.
Why do you think our culture runs to Vlad so much to tell their story?
Money. He pays more than everybody.
I hear you say that, but then, we just seen him disrespect Marlon Wayans.
He disrespected Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We keep going, niggas just keep going back to him. But, you know what I'm saying, if you somebody and you need a check and he got 10, 20,000, I heard, he ain't never paid me no shit like that. Now, mind you, I've been doing Vlad interviews since he started, over maybe 12, 13 years, long time, maybe even more than that. Vlad used to come by the source like a little puppy and just sit there, you know what I'm saying? Just like, just sit there and watch me and Dave and like, yo, he used to be amazed with, that was Dave's son. Real talk, Vlad was Dave's son at one point. I watched all that. Now, I will give him his props. He's one of the first to do this interview shit off camera and have the person do it. So I'm gonna give him his props. But where he went wrong is ego. His ego. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, Vlad. You know what I'm saying? You can't have an ego with our culture. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not even supposed to be here.
I feel like we allow a lot of people to come in our culture and just kind of, like, maybe Eminem.
Eminem earned his way, man. Eminem,
you think so?
Eminem raps good, man. He has a whole state, Michigan, that support him. We don't even have to say Detroit because Detroit, people kind of get it twisted with Detroit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in Detroit don't even listen to Eminem because it's a black city. But Michigan is so huge, there's way more than Detroit. So, he earned his way. Beastie Boys earned their way. If you nice with it, you nice with it. He nice with it. I wouldn't say that he didn't earn his way, but he's still, he's a rapper.
Right.
Hip hop is our culture. It
Right.
came to be our culture. It took on a different type of meaning with black people. He's not a part of that part of it.
That's what because a lot of things that often get me is people will say he's like #1 in hip hop or he's the best.
Well,
And
that's up to them to feel that way.
Right.
Everybody, what makes us individuals from 8 billion people on this earth is our and it's good to respect it. I respect anybody that likes him. That's, you know what I'm saying? I don't allow his fans have a hard time respecting anybody who don't like him. That's the problem, because in there it's like, oh, because he's white. No, you might not just like his music. There's a lot of black people music I don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. There's a lot of black people music I do like. I like white people music too.
Right.
So,
If you could go back in time, is there anything you would have changed with the Eminem beef or anything like that?
nah, man, I don't go back in time, man. I just don't. I swear to God, I don't, man. Like,
Do you get tired of talking about this? Like,
no, well, yeah, well, the Eminem thing is I'm attached to it. It's normal.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm not one to like regret or, because I just feel like it's such a different time now. Like if you probably asked me that maybe if it was 5 years old, but this is like 20 something years old. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of things that of course everybody would want to change, but I don't think about it because I'm here healthy.
Now, it seemed at one point that the source was kind of geared toward destroying Eminem. Like, I can remember a picture that...
When I was beefing with him.
Yeah. Like, you had a picture where you was eating M&M's.
I had snatched him out the spine with his head like this.
Yeah. So, like, do you think that was maybe a little bit much to use that platform?
No, man. Y'all just said earlier, right? When you went out with JT and Young Miami, that they come and do whatever they want.
Nah, for sure.
All right, well, why? You know why? Because it's y'all's shit to do what you want with it.
Right.
See, I didn't want the source to get up involved with it, but it was my magazine, and he had Interscope, so he had a big platform. I had to use my platform. It turned bigger than just me battling him or me going against him. It's like, oh, now this is bigger than that now. So I have to use, you know, all my ammunition. I have to use everything. Like, why would you go in a war with a motherfucking bat when you got 5 tanks right there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring everything you got.
Yeah.
So, you know, Source got into it, and it's history. When you look back, it's always gonna be history.
Yeah. Do people realize that you beat a case against Interscope when you used that
Federal
Eminem,
case.
another federal case when you used Eminem's racist slur?
They had to pay our lawyers.
Yeah, did that start the fair use act or no?
No, but it's gonna be something that people could use. You know, lawyers go back and they use different cases, you know, as the model for their case. But it was a situation where we was a magazine, and we had the fair right to use this, to put it in our magazine for people to see it.
And for those who don't know who we're talking about the Eminem.
The Eminem racist tapes.
Yes.
And we couldn't put the whole tape in it. The tape was like an hour.
Damn.
So the judge said, okay, I'll let you do it, but you can only do 30 seconds. So we put 30 seconds of all the curses and racist words and shrunk wrap out 2,000 copies and put it out.
Why do you think black people they didn't cancel Eminem behind this? They were offended for a little second, but they got past it. Why do you think?
The internet wasn't out. The internet wasn't out.
Yeah, it was not like
and
now.
at that point, Interscope was so big and so influential with Dre, Snoop, 50. One thing I do notice, man, you make good music, man. Motherfuckers, man, it don't matter what you do.
R. Kelly.
For some reason, you make some good ass music, boy. You could be and do whatever you want out this bitch.
There's a clip of like you crying about the beef.
I was drunk.
Okay.
Drunk.
Yeah.
I was drunk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, drunk as a motherfucker. I want to get drunk. You know, me and Nori, that's one of my closest friends. And I've done about 4 interviews. I said, this time I'm gonna get drunk this time.
Right.
Because I want to open up. I got too drunk.
Right.
There's a stage of drunk where it's like, okay, I'm talking good. Then towards a little more, my mouth is getting numb. I could barely move it. I don't think I can. Then a little more, I'm starting to kind of get black and dizzy. Now it's like I'm getting emotional. And then right after it was over, I passed out. My girl drove me to the hotel. So like, you know, you want to hear some crazy shit about that interview?
Yeah.
I never went back and watched it. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
I never went back. I seen clips,
Right.
but I never went back and watched the whole interview. There's still a lot of Love and Hip Hop of the 3rd season episodes I don't watch. I don't know. I don't be watching shit, but I know that it was a real moment, and what I said was from the heart, you know.
Right.
Because alcohol make it come out.
Oh yeah.
And I do know that part where it was probably 20 years of frustration
Right.
of people coming at me, pages getting deleted, me going at people, fuck you, I can't fuck your money. Like that's after a while, man, I should, 20 years of this shit.
It's a long time.
Of that shit, so. And like 15 pages later, Instagram pages later, like, you know what I mean? I probably just a little frustration came out, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? But I was, you see how I was tipping that shit? You see how I was.
Right. Did this beef ever get real? Like, was it?
It wasn't really a beef, man. Beef is, people get killed.
Yeah, so it never.
This was a moment, man, in hip hop history. You know what I'm proud of the most?
What's that?
When me and Eminem's dead, you're not gonna be able to say his name without mentioning Benzino.
That's a fact. That's a big fact.
That's how I knew about you.
Yeah, it opened your whole.
You're not gonna be able to say. You're not gonna be able to say his name without mentioning me, and his people know that. So, not that really makes a big thing to me, because I got my own name. Like Benzino's, people have named dogs, cats, frogs, turtles, hamsters, all Benzino. Yeah, like there's only one Benzino now. There are people, babies being named Benzino. Like Benzino's a real name now.
Yeah.
Trev named me Benzino, Free Big Trev in Boston.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, on Rap Elvis, that was the one I felt like you got him. I felt like you was on his ass on that Rap Elvis, bro.
It was just a good time and period. Like I was with the right group of guys, we came up with it. The beat was dope, you know what I'm saying? And like, it was long as hell. You know what I'm saying? Long ass track. I like Vulturious because that beat was so gangster and that was just so dope, the first one I did. But I got his ass back. I'm sure he knows that too.
Right.
You know. And who knew that it would end like that? Because I thought it was over. When he came back with that song saying something about me and Coi, he just opened the door. So I said, wait a minute, hold up. Now this is the time where I was like, oh, viral? Okay. Did the 2 songs, went right to Mom's Spaghetti, stayed out there for about a week, and it was just like, it went crazy. It was up for that whole few weeks with that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty dope. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I respect Eminem, who he is as an artist. At some point, we got to move on. He's dope. I can name a million other black guys that are dope.
Right.
You know what I mean? At some point, it's like, yeah, man, like, but I understand it. He's white. He's white doing something in a predominantly black. I mean, but Cooper, do people feel this way about Cooper Cup? Damn. They ain't even gonna be talking about Cooper Cup 10 years from now.
There's just one song he said, basically he was talking, he was like, there was no gangsters in Boston or something like that. How did everybody feel about that?
Nobody paid attention to that.
Right.
Eminem did not grow up gangster, and Eminem knows that. Eminem, and you gotta look at Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety, he probably can't even be by himself and walk through a mall. Of course, I'm sure he would get mobbed, but just feeling safe. Like his whole life, he's been sheltered. You know what I'm saying? You can catch me at the most craziest gas station in any hood in America. He'd be like, that you, Zeno? And I'm like, yo, get some Swisher Downs. What's up, buddy? Yo, let me get that picture. Yeah. We're different.
There's a gas station. You made me think of a gas station out here. I won't even pull up to that bitch.
And I'll be right, and you'll see me right at that motherfucker get some Swishers and a vitamin water, real talk. And it's like, and somebody will want to take a picture or somebody, and I'm proud to say that. I'm proud of that, yeah.
Culture vultures. Do you feel like is there any more culture vultures that you think are people that you think are culture vultures right now?
You know what? And I like, listen, if I'm saying, look it, yeah, I'm gonna say Adam's a culture vulture, and I like Adam.
Yeah.
I don't like Vlad, but I like Adam.
Right.
Personally. From the time I met him, cool dude, treated me with respect, and it was a good dude. But I believe he's a culture vulture. No disrespect. A culture vulture to me is like, well, he's hiring black guys and giving them jobs, right? I don't know how much money everybody's making or whatever. But Adam just gotta realize, man, like Adam is a smart guy.
Definitely.
He gotta realize at some point that what he's doing is hurting us in ways that he don't even understand. You know, without, yo, Adam, it's none of that. Just, because I don't want the back and forth shit. I'm gonna explain it in a manly person that I'm hoping I'm not offending him, but he has to realize that the stuff that he does, the stuff that Vlad does, it's hurting, it's instigating, it's creating problems within. He goes back home, he's not coming back here. They still gonna deal with each other here.
Right.
The thing with him and Brick Baby not going
Shout
there
out
with,
Brick
you know, shout out to Brick Baby, like, there's gonna be probably issues with the people who are still working there. These are how real street issues go on that have nothing to do with the podcast.
Right.
That's what I call a culture vulture, who do things to our culture that hurt us within.
All right.
And then they go fly back to their people when they want to.
I was thinking of Post Malone, and you know he's from Dallas.
Post Malone, look what Post did. Came out with all them hard beats and then switched up. Kid Rock did the same thing. Let me go get him on some hip hop shit. Once I get him, now I'm gonna go, because in their minds, they want to get the bigger white audience, and you can't blame them for that because that's a money decision. But yes, they used us and they kept it pushing.
How do we block that? Is there any way to stop? Is there a way to gatekeep hip hop to keep from them from appropriating
Source
our
Magazine
culture?
were gatekeepers. We was at one point.
Right.
And I tried to gatekeep against the Eminem situation.
Right.
It just was nobody was with me. I'm trying to fight a fight, and I turn around, ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say keep Eminem out of it, but just to organize and make sure hip hop is for us, by us, FUBU. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we keep the money within.
Amen.
That's how we get the zillions of white people to keep buying within us. Now it's theirs. It's theirs now. It ain't ours.
Right, because
no
there's so many white rappers now. It's like,
it's not just that though. It's just the whole thing, the streams and the, you know what I'm saying, the way they robbing us with that, the way they're putting music out and the way music is monetized now is one of the biggest fucking robberies ever. It's probably just up there as much as slavery. Like pitting cotton for nothing, getting your songs heard for nothing, 1/4% of a penny every time somebody listens to your song. So yeah, streaming is fucked up.
Love and hip hop. How scripted is that?
How scripted? Reality TV, everything has an organized script of the basis of how it's gonna go. But what reality TV does is they give you the kind of like the outline, then they let and see what goes on. They set it up. They set up drama situations and they let the drama take place. Oh. In my case, Love and Hip Hop would give us beats. Beats is like a script of what they expect out of the scene and what we should say and what, it's the truth. You could ask my producers at Love and Hip Hop. I didn't do the beats. I just did what Benzino did. They would tell me, okay, Benzino, this is over here. Then they would let me do my thing. Yeah. Yeah, everything you've seen with Benzino was all authentic.
Well, what's the pros and cons of being on reality?
The cons is your love life and your personal businesses on TV to be scrutinized by everybody.
Right.
And then the cons is a lot of people can't, the lines are blurred between reality TV and real life. And off camera, it becomes a mess.
Right.
That's the cons. Those are the biggest cons. That's what ruins relationships, ruins careers, ruins a lot. Like if you don't understand what it is and know how to navigate it, you'll ruin your career, yourself, and any relationship you're in. Right. And my relationship got ruined through it. You know what I'm saying? But I did it. You know what I'm saying? And, reality TV, I know reality. I know reality TV, it's all entertainment at the end of the day, but it's still a representation of who you are. And I know how I want to be represented. I know how I want to be seen You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
We interviewed D Haven.
Shout out to D Haven.
Did you know about a D Haven when Jay-Z was first coming up?
Yeah. You know, I'm from Boston, and D Haven's name came up a bunch of times, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knew D Haven was like Jay's muscle. I mean, that.
Oh, okay. So that's the
That's
real
how
thing.
I looked at it. When I heard D Haven, and then you know what I'm saying. I know a couple of guys from Marcy and shit, but that's how I looked at it. That's how people looked at me as Dave's muscle, not knowing that I was making a lot of the business decisions at the source.
Right.
So you know that's how you're looked upon, because D Haven had a rep in Marcy.
Right. Nobody fuck with D Haven.
Yeah, like Jay really wasn't what D Haven was, but that's all right because that's how it happens. Look, not all the rappers. It's crazy because back in the day, the rapper just had a rap. Now we all from the hood. It's not like you had to go out there and kill somebody. It flipped now to where it's that the rappers, the killers are the ones because of the internet getting the most attention. The ones who are killing. The ones who do the most killing. The ones who do the most crime. The ones who are the bravest. The ones who live more dangerous. That shit is backwards as hell.
We had this kind of discussion. They was like, with D Heaven, and they was like, well, what was Jay-Z in the group? And I was like, he was the rapper. They was like, no, what was he? The rapper, nigga.
Right. Right, but that's a big part. That's the money. Drug niggas listen, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these niggas that was out here hustling wasn't gonna get no money like rap money at its peak. Like rap money at its peak is good ass money. And, you know, you ain't gotta be risking your life for it on no corner or risking your freedom. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't downplay that Jay was a rapper. The nigga was a dope ass rapper and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you a real ass nigga and you the street nigga and you the nigga with the rep, it only makes sense. Play your position. Everybody play their position and we gonna be all right. When the rapper starts trying to play the killer or when the killer starts trying to play the rappers, where again, the lines are getting blurred. And this is where all the problems we're having now.
Yeah, when you start seeing like the drill scene and you start seeing like a Quando, Rondo, and Tim and Von situation where we're actually watching rappers kill rappers and rap about it and seeing it in real time, like, you know, you being from the streets, did you see this coming? And now that's here, what do you think about it?
But I mean, I you know, I'm no hypocrite, and I guess I had some responsibility to it with doing gangster rap, not knowing that it was gonna turn into this. But yeah, and it's sad, it's unfortunate. Like, these kids they have opportunities and they're not making it to 30. And it's unfortunate because shit, they've never had nothing. I mean, we're talking the type of poverty that some of them came up in to what they are now, you would think.
They would chill up.
But you gotta understand, there's no training. There's no instilled knowledge. There's nothing that's gonna help them think beyond the shit that they're doing. The father's not there, the mother ain't on that level. So what the fuck is a kid to do but go out in the streets and that's it. That's gonna be your teacher right there. Whatever goes there is gonna go there. Now, couple that with the fucking internet, something that is just showing shit that's half of it's non-attainable, the other half of it is just a bunch of bullshit, and the other fucking half is lies, the other half is porn. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen to him? What is his mind being fed on a daily, hourly, minutely basis? Niggas is getting cooked out here, bro.
Facts. When you see someone like Jaguar Wright on our platform, and she says a lot of stuff about people, things that she say, and now it comes true. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any, like...
I mean, it's not just Jaguar, right? Everybody's saying things. People know the more outlandish shit you're gonna say is gonna be it's gonna make the blogs. That's what's gonna get the traffic. That's it now. It's the thing to do now. It's taken over a lot of people. My thing is, some of the stuff that I've heard Jag say makes perfect sense. You could tell she comes across as intelligent, talented, and then other shit she says you could just see is just starting up bullshit. Because there's no reason to start up shit with anybody if you're not willing to take the consequences. If you're willing to take the consequences, then you shouldn't be speaking on anybody. Because when the consequences come, then don't, you know what I'm saying? And then people, well, I'll call the police, but that's not fair now. That's like, you're not playing fair. Like, you're starting the problem, somebody sees you in person, reacts, and you call the police on them over the shit that you started. That's not manly and it's not womanly. And there's too many people that do it. Charleston White does it. It's just not, you don't got to antagonize to get your point across, and you ain't got to, just to get your point across, start problems with people.
Well, I think people do it because that's what people want to see, almost, kind of. Like, what is that? What do you think that's about? Like the audience?
Yeah, but people want to see. But if we live by what people want to see, do you understand what type of life that would be? What about your own integrity and your own? Right. And then if you are for the culture, then you have to know that you're causing more damage than you are good. I mean, all this about, I'm a community activist and I've done this for the community. How can you be doing this and you're causing problems, disrespecting people on a daily basis? Black people who are in the struggle every day, all day. Right. How does that help the culture? Like, that's bozo shit to me.
Well, he says, that he's doing it. He's just putting on a character for the internet.
That's an excuse. Look, Charleston White, one half of Charleston White could be where Martin and Malcolm is. All right, well, maybe. But the other half is a bunch of bullshit, con man, weirdo shit. And to me, it comes across as a nigga that didn't get too much pussy back in the day. That now you get a little bit of fame and fortune, you see how this shit getting it, so you're gonna do anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you a comfortable nigga that always was good with the women, you don't do this dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, his mind, I'm sure he has done for the community, but it gets thrown away from me when you're starting trouble with guys, and then when they come to you, then you're telling on them. How the fuck is that helping these guys? How is that helping these guys' parents? How is that helping anything? You're just helping the system eat them up like everything else. I don't get it. And then, the problem is people like Charleston, everybody see people in the comments, oh, I love him. Nobody can make me hate him. He ate that up. Like, when you look, I want people to dig deeper at these type of people who are commenting like that and see who that type of person is, and like, you're happy because that person, like, they don't even got their shit together. Look at the people who are commenting and go in a little deeper and be like, this is the support you want from, then they're just saying that just to be a part of something. People know how people are crying out so much to be a part of something that they want to be a part of something in the comment section. They don't mind coming every day being a commenter because they're a part of the other commenters. What they say is not even the point. It's just the fact that they're a part of something. Charleston could do us a lot more good if he stopped with all that other extra bullshit. If you for the community, you doing the same thing that you talking about, you done became. Now, since you can't rap, you everything else but not kicking it. You want to be the entertainer. Now, wearing the Confederate flags and all that shit. Like, there's no, and if you go for an excuse for that, I'm in character, then you're just as much of a bozo as he is at times. And I don't got no beef with him because I think he's a smart, intelligent man that can do good, but he's took a left turn. Again, his celebrity has gotten the best of him, where he's just saying shit and I'm sure he'll get on here and try to say something. I ain't got no problems with him. I got no problems with nobody. It's just this is my mature way of looking at it, that he could do our culture a lot better if he stops with all this bullshit, stop antagonizing these kids on here, stop snitching on them for sure. We don't do that. I don't know where the fuck anybody thought it was cool. And all these people who agree with that only agree with it until it's happened to their mother, father, brother, sister, cousin. And then they mad. Or their girl, or their man, or their woman. Like, we live in a pick and choose society now. Like, the shit that Charleston does, man, like, he could do better. He has the ears now of everybody. Now switch it around and do better, bro. Do better, bro. like getting on the thing with girls and this and that. And like, come on, man, like, you a grown man. Set the example of a Malcolm or a Martin. You don't got to be, I'm saying, like, all the way, but don't do the clown shit and stop antagonizing and causing problems, because he starts a lot of this shit. He says shit about people thinking because it's a viral and because it's a news and he has his opinion, but that shit, the shit he says is disrespectful. And you know, I don't feel it.
I feel you. But in all fairness, a lot of individuals that Charleston go after you do their research, they don't really be good people. They don't really be solid individuals.
Why? Because Charleston said so?
No. No.
Well, name one. Give me one. Who do you go after that's not a good person?
Vaughn.
I'm saying, like,
so
hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. But let me go there. This is good. Vaughn is a young man that came up in a fucked up situation like all these other young men. Have some fucking empathy.
Right.
Like, yes, Vaughn got himself into like all these other young men and he ended up like all these other young men. Have some fucking empathy. If it happened to his son, would he be saying that? If it happened to his nephew, would he be saying that? No. You can't say Vaughn was loved by his mother. Right. Vaughn was loved by God. Vaughn was loved by a lot of people. Vaughn did bad like we all do bad and make mistakes. Who the fuck is Charleston White to disrespect Vaughn after he dies? And who is he to say something about Vaughn? What makes Charleston better than Vaughn?
All I'm saying is, he ain't saying nothing that the old head on the corner wouldn't say that seen Vaughn get shot and killed. The old head would be like, I be telling these young niggas.
He don't know. The old head would know Vaughn. He don't. So you can't do that.
Yeah.
You see, the old head's gonna know Vaughn. We're gonna watch Vaughn grow up and Vaughn develop a respect for the old head. He don't know him. It's disrespectful. And you wouldn't do it to his face. You wouldn't do it to him. All that, everybody going everybody's block and just jump. And no. You wouldn't be there. Because if you're coming with police, nigga, you ain't playing right. That's not how we do it. To me, he's the cancer. He's not uplifting anybody out here. Who the fuck is he uplifting? He on the motherfucking internet every other day talking shit about somebody. Niggas got it bad enough already. But I get it. Clicks, comments, oh, he ate up, that's my man. If that's how you look at it, you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. Vaughn ain't never done nothing to nobody personally, for anybody to hate him so much. When he was living there playing the music, I bet you in the club bouncing to his shit, watching the video. People got to understand that, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, if you got a platform, use your platform because these kids need help. Right. Don't use it to damage them. And I'm afraid that he's doing more damage to the community than he is good. That's just my opinion.
Well, you know, on this platform, we do fuck with Charleston White. He says that he just sits around and wait for people to come at him, and then he'll go at them.
Who the fuck is he? See, it's again. He's put himself in a celebrity thing to where that he's making himself that he's relevant now because that's what he does. But his relevancy is only because he's disrespecting everybody. Right. Take away the disrespect. Does anybody know who he is? What has he accomplished in our what has Charleston White accomplished?
Well,
somebody tell me, what has he accomplished in
he's
the
turned
hip-hop
over
community?
he's turned over laws.
He's what?
Turned over laws.
No. We don't know what law this man has turned over. I need you to give me some proof. Just like niggas can show paperwork or snitches, I need to see some proof of what law Charleston White turned. Please. So while you find that out, let's figure out something else he done. In hip hop, Charleston White ain't done shit. He ain't had no hit record. He ain't put on no hit TV show. He ain't done nothing. All Charleston White does is come on the internet and talk shit about people who actually have accomplishments in this game. So again, if somebody could tell me what he did, then I'm all for it.
Now, one could argue, what has a drill rapper done for anybody?
No. I'm not saying a drill rapper because it's not just just drill rappers that Charleston White goes off. Charleston White goes after everybody he just don't like.
You know, he goes after rappers.
He just know he don't. He go after niggas' mamas. He go after like women. Everybody, bro. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's and like.
So I guess it's a different character because you meet Charleston White in person. He's a totally different person.
No. I'm sure me and Charlie will get along in person because he'll be a man and I'm gonna be a man. And we was born around the same time. I'm not with the troll and dumb shit. I'm just not with that. It just ain't me. It ain't. I think it hurts people, bro. I think it hurts. Like, why get on the internet and start beef with everybody? Why? Is that's the way that? So get on. So let me ask y'all.
I feel like it makes a crazy check too, like that.
But all money ain't good money.
No, you facts. You ain't saying
I can
nothing.
get on here and say a bunch of shit and go give me a crazy check. Why would I want that type of check?
Right.
It's just people don't forget some of the horrible shit you say about dead people and people's mamas and you know what I'm saying. When you know what I mean. I don't know. That's just me, man. It's just me, man. Like I try to show love and I try to show respect because I want it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I got kids. Why would I put my kids in danger?
Thanks.
Why would I be on the internet? Why would I put my kids in danger? I mean, don't get me wrong, shit happens and sometimes, but he makes a living off of this. And I just don't think, the shit that happened at the comedy show when who wants to live like that? I don't think any of y'all would want to live like that.
Oh, everybody's built different.
Right. What is just you being in the streets, right? Like, what is some advice that you can give to some of these cats that are doing music, right? There are no gatekeepers now, right? So it's just kind of a free for all.
Man.
What advice would you give them? For you being at the top of the game, you seeing the height of where music can go.
I don't, man. It's hard now. Music is such a different, man. Music is so confusing now, man, the way it is because of the streaming, because of the oversaturation, all the labels and what they're like. It's just a weird time for music right now. These young guys know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your hood to love you, the people around you loving you, and your block and people supporting you. When you get that local support, it could, you know what I'm saying, belly up and make a dope ass song. But it's hard to give advice now because it's all over the place. It really is. I can't even lie. It's just, make good music, stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? And put hours in your craft. Like, you ain't got to be 24 hours with it, but get a job. You know what I'm saying? And then the 8 hours work and the other 8 hours do, fuck with your music. And don't get nobody pregnant.
Man, before we get out of here, man, you had a crazy ass story about Scott Storch, and I just had.
Oh shit! So Scott Storch, good friend of mine, man. Produced. Scott, I remember one day, Scott had this like he was Tony Montana. Scott used to really believe he was Tony, but it was weird. He would dress like him. Yeah. His house on the island, I think it was Starz. He'd come in, he'd have the cigarette. He had Dominican chicks everywhere. Yeah. So you go in, he got the all gold motorcycle. He don't know how to ride a bike, never mind a motorcycle. It's in the white pearl piano. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So you walk in, they got the things that you go up, like the room, the staircases, like Scarface. He comes in and shit, he's glasses, he's wired. It's like, hey, come on in. There's a room over here with a pool table, a bunch of other rooms on the first floor. Go in this room, there's like big pile of coke here. Then there's another pile of coke here. It's like, and which was like 9 piles everywhere on the pool table, on the side of the pool table, on the glass thing. So then we walk out the thing, and then we go over there. There's over there by the where you hang your coats at, big pile of coke there, like straws, just every fucking way you want. Man, he's like, I said, no, I'm cool, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's broad daylight, you know what I'm saying? I'm all right now, you know what I'm saying? No, don't get me wrong. I done been through my wild boy antics. Like I don't judge. I'm just saying, but Scott was really one of the only ones that really had that Scarface thing down, boy. Like he thought he was Tony Montana to the key, like for real. If Tony Montana could produce beats, he'd be Scott Storch.
but in his defense, Dominican's walking around with a pearl white grand piano.
Yeah,
you do gotta feel like
Dominican women. Yeah, he liked Spanish women.
And you could play it
strippers
too.
Everywhere. Oh, he could. He would get on it, but he was with a cigarette all the time and just, you know what I'm saying, just glasses, and he had the coat on, and just his whole mannerisms was. When you walked in, all you heard was June, 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 June. choo, 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 choo. That's all you heard. Like I was. So let me get the fuck out of here. I'll see you later, Scott.
Man, are you working?
But you gotta give him his props. He's one of the dopest producers to ever do it to this day.
Man, are you working on anything? You got anything coming up that the people need to know about?
Source Awards documentary coming.
What? Oh, that's gonna be
95 Source Awards documentary. Me and myself, Man Robinson, have been working on it. We're working with the Horn brothers now. Been working on it for almost a year now. We got a bunch of amazing interviews of people that were actually there. We're still in the last part of the interview stage, going into the editing stage, but it'll be like a 3-part series, and I'm gonna be narrating it, and it's gonna be pretty. Like I got some real heavyweights. I want to shout it. I don't want to let anybody know, but I want to shout everybody. But it was a lot of the people that were in '95, and we kind of highlight '94 too, because that's when Pac was there. Pac was locked up in '95, but a lot of stories that people didn't know, a lot of backstories that I didn't know that was going on, because it was such a tense night for hip hop. Like people got to understand, '95 is when hip hop just wasn't about New York or LA anymore. It was everywhere, you know what I mean? Like Midwest was there, the South, that's when Andre said the South got something to say, and the South just, like took over. Like that night was a pivotal night in hip hop. So the night that changed hip hop forever, be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be, of course, coming up in 2025, and got a couple of reality show opportunities. I'm on every Wednesday, Celebrity Crime Files on TV1, Wednesday night, 10 o'clock. Been doing that. And man, just, I'm planning on, I'm gonna release a fitness tape and program on my 60th birthday in next July. And, just a program for guys 50 and over, how to stay fit, you know what I'm saying? And not just stay fit, but just how to give them tips on how to just be more of a ladies' man. And, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real.
The guys, you know what I'm saying? Some of these guys need a little bit of help, so you know what I'm saying?
Man, you gotta come back, because I wanted to touch on that with you.
Gotta come back, come fuck with y'all. This was dope, man.
Man, how many chin-ups you think you can do?
I'm not good at chin-ups, but I benched 315 the other day.
Hey, turn it up.
I benched 315, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep, I finally got it. You know what I'm saying? So I only got it one time, but you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It didn't kill you, so.
I'm almost.
Yeah.
Almost, but I got that bitch, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It was good because I got it one time before. And then it was like, man, the thing about when you get older is if you stop even for a couple of months, you lose everything. So I can never stop going to the gym now if I want to keep my strength. When you're young, your muscles stay with you, but when you get older, so I'm proud of that. Like if I was staying the night here, I'd have been right after this, I'd been going right to LA Fitness.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I love the gym.
Man, we just want to thank you so much for coming, man.
I want to thank y'all, man, for real. And Angel, me and Ashley are coming on that cruise in January with y'all. Trust me.
Man, that's going to be lit. Hey, man.
Shout out to the Treats, man, too. The Treats.
shout out
What's his name? Monty. Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna love that.
Yeah, for real. That made this possible.
Hold up, man. Fuck
Shout out to
Monty.
Dallas, man. I'm in the D, man.
Man, we just want to thank you for coming and sitting down with us. Can't wait to the next one, brother.
Are y'all Cowboy fans?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Y'all want to talk about that? Y'all want to cut? Cut. Look at that. Look at that.
Hey, nigga,
y'all can see their faces.
Hey, nigga, they'll beat you. Hey, with that being said,
the Patriots might have a better record than y'all. Imagine that.
That's the craziest.
Damn.
man, they fucking up the prize picks.
Prize picks. It's fucking up the fuck.
Benzino.
Appreciate it, y'all.
You are a real life street star.
I earned it, baby.